project as a student, which is our next step up program, which is a mentoring program. She continued that program intermittently while she was away at graduate school, while she worked in DC at the EPA. And when she moved back to Tuskegee, Alabama, she ensured that that program continued on the way it did when she first started it. She not only infuses energy and excitement in the people that she helps, but also the people around her, because she is a true leader. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to invite to the podium Elise Tolbert.
Thank you. Can you hear me well? Okay. Thank you for that warm welcome. I really appreciate it. It's not every day, very rare actually, that you are introduced by someone who you have looked up to for so many years. So this is truly a humbling moment for me. I really appreciate that introduction. Thank you. All right, good evening to the distinguished faculty, proud family members, honored guests, and most importantly, to the inductees of Gamma Sigma Delta, the Honor Society of Agriculture, which I am now proud to become a member of. It is a profound honor for me to stand before you tonight in this place, because Tuskegee University is not only where I received my degree in environmental science, but it is also where I first understood who I was to become. I want to start by speaking directly to you, to the inductees. As you look around this room, as you look at the people in the seats next to you, you see people who are here to support you, people who believe in you, people who have poured into your leadership and your success. Let this moment settle in your bones, that you are here as an inductee tonight because you've earned it. But I also want to tell you something that someone once told me, and it took a little while for me to understand, that this honor is not a destination, it is a doorway. It is a part of your path and your journey to who you are becoming and to the work that you have ahead of you. Gamma Sigma Delta was founded upon the idea of binding together the earth, the practice of agriculture, and welfare for humankind. Those aren't just beautiful words on a crest. That is a commitment that you have shown a dedication to for years. I imagine that along your journey, there were many nights where you were tired and you had to stay up and study, or times where you wanted to go to a party or just rest and relax on the weekend, and you chose instead to do what was necessary to pass that test or finish that paper or get in that assignment. Those actions show your commitment to your education, your commitment to your responsibility. You are not just accepting a certificate and a award tonight, but you are accepting a responsibility to the land, a responsibility to the science, and a responsibility to the communities, like Tuskegee, the rural communities that depend on both. I know something about that responsibility. Dr. Golden Tiller mentioned my story in her introduction. When I was a student here at Tuskegee University, in the city that raised me, I saw a gap. And so as a freshman, I ran for Miss Freshman on the campaign theme, EMT, which stood for my initials, Elise Tolbert. But it also stood for something deeper, which is emergency merging of the two Tuskegees. Because I began to see this gap, that there were neighbors, the university neighbors and the community neighbors, that didn't know or understand each other, that weren't relying on each other and working together began to exercise my campaign theme of EMT, Emergency Merging of the Two Tuskegees, by founding Next Step Up as a freshman, which provided an opportunity for Tuskegee University students to more deeply and meaningfully engage with the community, to spend time with the local youth, to get to know the parents of the community, to work with the churches locally, so that by building relationships with one another, we could work together more meaningfully and deeply. That belief that we have a responsibility to one another is what led me to found Next Step Up. And that belief is what eventually brought me home from Washington, D.C., from working at the EPA, from a career that looked impressive on paper, where my heart felt incomplete. I was working on national policy. I was working to get billions of dollars for the United States through big bills. But I really wanted to see that impact locally. I wanted to see improvements locally in the place where I'm from. And as someone who used to work in a soil science lab here at Tuskegee, I can tell you that the soil that raised you has a pull, and it can pull you back. If you listen closely, you can hear it calling. So now I serve as your District 3 County Commissioner, and I sit at tables where decisions are made. These are decisions about roads, resources, health care, housing, and about whether this community continues to grow or whether it slowly fades away. And I can tell you that from being in those rooms and being at those tables, the world needs you. This community needs you. Your community needs you. This country needs you. It needs your brilliance, it needs your skills, but specifically it needs your boldness and your integrity. Because there are people with skills and brilliance who understand the subject matter working all over this country. I mean, look at Congress right now. We've had Congress closed, the government closed in this nation twice in like 6 months. And it's because there are people who are brilliant and skillful, but people sometimes lack boldness, the ability to speak truth to power, and people who lack integrity. Those skills matter just as much, and that's what Tuskegee University instills in you. Booker T. Washington founded this university on principles that I hold dear. These are the principles of knowledge, leadership, and service. Not knowledge alone, not leadership for its own sake, and not service without the preparation that makes it meaningful, but together in that order. Booker T. Washington understood something that the rest of the world is still catching up to. He believed that true education had to reach the whole person, the head, so that we can think critically, so that we can analyze situations and data, so that we understand the subject matter. But not just the head, also the heart, so that our knowledge is connected to passion and purpose. I remember when I was in grad school, we would analyze data sets in public health about things like maternal mortality. And the assignment was to figure out the right statistical analysis and formula to analyze the data set. And I once sat in class, in front of all my classmates, and said, how do those results make you feel? The fact that we are analyzing a data set and it's showing that Black women are losing their babies at X times more than other races, or that people are dying at X times more than other groups of people. You know, it's not just about whether or not we know how to analyze the data or generate the results, but about how the results make us feel. In the hand, because once we analyze data, once we know how to greet that data with empathy, then it's about action. It's about being on the ground, right? Being able to be tactical, being able to apply that which we know. Booker T. Washington built this institution on that belief. And it was radical at that time, and guess what? is still just as powerful now. When I look around right now, I see, and I'm sure you see too, chaos and calamity everywhere. I mean, it's really hard to sort of turn on the news without seeing something that looks like despair and looks distressing. But the cool thing about Tuskegee University is that we're at a university that was founded by someone who was born into American slavery during one of the hardest moments of the world's history. So we ain't new to this, we true to it. We understand what it's like to go through challenges and adversity. And each generation has its own responsibility to meet and confront those challenges. While others might quiver in despair, Tuskegee University alum are equipped to go through challenges and adversity and to lead through them, like Booker T. Washington did, leading on education and economics by building an institution that still stands today. I actually took classes in Milbank Hall, which was such an honor for me, especially with my connection to George Washington Carver. I really look up to him. And he walked those same grounds, these same grounds. He didn't just study plants, but he asked the land what it had to offer. And then he brought those answers to the people that needed them most. He educated his head deeply enough to make scientific breakthroughs. He led with his heart by taking research directly to the struggling farmers, and he used his hands literally to demonstrate and teach that helped them to better produce. So as you accept this induction, I want to leave you with three things, some things that I've learned along the way. I had a great mentor. He was a former dean at Tuskegee University in business. And I was contemplating on which job to take at a point in my career. And he told me, go where you are needed, not just where you are comfortable. As we graduate from Tuskegee University, I'm sure most of us want to get the bag. You know, we want to make some money. We want the opportunity to make a life for ourselves. But if you're looking for a compass or a guiding light, a North Star in terms of making decisions going forward in your life, I would also encourage you, like my mentor encouraged me, to go where you are needed, to go where no one else can do the job that you can do but you, and not just the place where you are comfortable. The second thing I'd like to leave you with is that your zip code does not define you, and it is not your ceiling. I come from Tuskegee, Alabama. It's a small rural town. And some of us come from small towns, some of us come from places that may be overlooked. But it's not a disadvantage. It's actually a lens. The most innovative solutions in agriculture, environmental science, and in most industries actually come from the people who are generally most proximate to the problems. You have to be close to the challenges to understand the solutions that actually work in confronting those challenges. And the third thing that I was even reminded of today is that excellence is not a solo performance. You don't have to get it out the mud. You don't have to do it on your own. When you look to the left and the right of you, there are people next to you who may be your future research partner, your future business partner, your future colleague. And this is an opportunity to build networks so that in the future you can rely on each other. Knowledge, leadership, and service. Head, heart, and hand. These are not just values of this university. They are now your values. Formalized tonight and sealed by this induction and carried forward in everything you do from this point on. So I am very proud of you all. I am thankful that I had the opportunity to sit in seats similar to yours. I wasn't inducted when I was in school, but I did sit in the classrooms that you sit in. And I'm genuinely excited for all that you will do going forward. So as the motto says, go bind it together. Congratulations and got